Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After Season 9, Episode 3. You Can't Handle the Truth. I think we can. I don't even know whose truth they talking about, but we're going to go ahead on and get into it. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie's advice. It's time for Auntie's advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie's advice. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul. Thank y'all so much for y'all continued support. So we're gonna get in here and get on out of here. This episode wasn't all of that fabulous, right? It did not have a lot going on. And yeah, so we're gonna get in and we're gonna get it and quit it. I don't know whether or not I have saved them. Let me see if I have. I have not saved their pictures, and so we're just gonna talk about them. Okay. The first one I want to talk about, couple I want to talk about is Tiger Lily and Adnan. What is going on? I feel like, a 90 Day Fiance TLC as a whole is playing on my top. A lot of these things that we are going through, we've already been through, and I have no idea why we're going through what we're going through. We all know that this man has been talking to her about converting. And in this particular episode, she acts as if this is the first time she's ever heard about it. And it just makes me feel like, they play with our intelligence. I think that as a 90 Day Fiance community, we are much smarter than they give us credit for. And we don't have short memories, but long ones. And Tiger Lily absolutely knows, right, that this man has been wanting her to convert. Now, I believed, and you all correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes y'all memory is a little bit better than mine is. But when we first met Adnan, I thought that Adnan was the first guy, the first son or child that was going to the United States. I had no idea that Adnan had a brother in the States. Now, y'all correct me downtown in the comments section if I'm wrong, but I do not remember that being something that they had discussed. I thought he was first. She made a big deal when we first met this couple about him moving to the United States and marrying an American, and come to find out he's in America, and not only in America but is married and has a child. And I just swear to God, y'all, I just don't remember a brother being there. So he said that his brother was living somewhere and he moved to Texas with them. We see Adnan, he comes into the house and he sees the new cottage home that they have. I think that this is some property that they purchased and they're restoring it, and making it a home for themselves. When he first came into the house, he looked as if he was displeased with the house, but he said that he liked it. And so, they made a big deal out of a bidet. I don't know who makes a big deal out of a toilet, but they did. And so, she decides that she's going to, meet with the brothers and they go to a golf course. And he said that this is where rich people, um, that was so nasty, Maisie. Did y'all hear that? So he's playing golf with his brother, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're in a golf cart, and he's driving all crazy. And I'm like, his wife is pregnant. But anyway, I digress. And so this is when they have the conversation about her changing. And she said, when did this change? And he said, I've always felt this way. And she said, but you said that I didn't have to do it. And so we all know, mark this video. What time is it on the video? I don't know what time it is on the clock right now, but she's going to convert. I don't know why, again, they keep playing in on our top and making it appear that there's some conflict and chaos in their relationship. They are 100% on board with one another, and it's just ridiculous. Now, I want to talk about, is it Carara, y'all? And I can't pronounce her husband's name. I always try and I always love it, but Kara and her husband, this was really, really, really sickening to me. To watch this, she has been wanting this guy to grow up and be responsible. But if we remember when she was dating him, he wasn't responsible. Right now, he wants to be, he wants to fly airplane. He's a little boy, like, about to go to the school fair to pick out an occupation that he wants to explore when he grows up. You get to be this grown age, you got a whole wife and a child, and now you want to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. This is just so embarrassing on so many, or just on so many levels, and I'm really disappointed, with his behavior because he's got a wife. He goes over to the he's been wanting to do this thing, right? And maybe it was because he was a poor and just didn't have the money or whatever. But like the United States don't work the way that he thinks it does. So he goes and sits with the mom. And the mom, bless her heart, is trying to give the best advice that she knows how to give, considering that he's sitting there, her daughter, and the two of them are not sleeping in the same room with each other. The only thing that is tying them together is this child. And she's very unhappy. I'm sure that she has had multiple. Maisie, sit down. Sit, Maisie. You want to be in the camera? Come on. You want them to see you? Y'all, she is looking at me like I know. But so anyway, she I'm sure she has had conversations with her mother about her husband and about things that's going on. The finances are so bad in their relationship right now, y'all, that neither of them have money to pay for a nanny or a babysitter. And so they are relying on the grace, right, and the support of her mother to keep the child. He goes over, right, to the mom's house and has a conversation about, his dreams of being an airline pilot. And so the mother suggests that he goes into the military because that way he can go into the military. They would, allegedly, supposedly pay for him to become a pilot. He has not done this research himself. He hasn't done any research since he's left the mother's house. He's just going off of a pipe dream and a suggestion that the mother has given him. He has not processed this in his mind. He has not thought about how this is going to affect his family. And he brings it to her. And he brings it to her as almost like a done deal. I'm going to go into the military. I'm going to get health benefits. I'm going to go get this. I'm going to get that. And has not and doesn't have a plan. And so, of course, she pops off, right? She's upset now. And she's saying, it's not as simple as you think it is. You're going to have to be away from your son. And, she said, these are some of the most important times because he's developing. She said that she is not going to be going with him from city to city and state to state. And anybody who knows anyone that has been in the military, you can get orders to go somewhere on a drop of a dime. You have no control over that. And moreover, who says that he's even qualified to do what it is that he wants to even train to do? You have to have just, some type of skills. And he doesn't seem like he has any. He allows the mom to give him a suggestion or a recommendation of a possible way of doing what it is that he wants. And he takes it all the way to the left. And I was extremely just done with him, because I'm thinking, do some research about it before you go to your wife with it. Don't just drop it on her lap. And then when she gives you, suggestions and tells you that there may be obstacles and there's certain processes and procedures and you don't know where you're going to go and X, Y, and Z. Now you're making it an argument. If he had just done a little bit of research, just a smidget, he would have known that at any time he can be moved. And he has to be chosen. He has to be chosen to do this in the Air Force. Who said that they're going to pick him as an apprentice or as a student to even do this? And you don't want to work a regular job. I don't understand it. In his mind, he's a little boy. But again, he was a little boy when she was dating him. I don't understand it for the life of me. I do not understand where he is. But I was glad that she stood up for herself and said, this is just not going to happen. I am not going to have my child moving back and forth. She has her own career where she's singing and dancing. Don't know how good she is at it, but he's not supporting that. And so, he wants all of this support from her. I think that, it goes back to, what someone has said before, that a lot of times people believe that the United States is this land of opportunity and a land of milk and honey. And for some people, it very well is that. But for a lot of people, it takes hard work, determination, school, qualifications, right? Just the basic qualifications in order for you to live off of a little bit of milk and honey and some success. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to get to where you are comfortable in these United States. And even being comfortable still requires a lot of hard sweat and tears to maintain it. Nobody gets to where they are in success without that, unless they had some type of trust fund. Outside of that, mm-mm. It just ain't gonna happen, Captain. The next person that I want to talk about is Darcy and her husband. Like, what is wrong with Darcy? Her husband has told her that they're going to go and be seen. They're going to go and see his parents, and he need her to bring herself in. So she decides to go to a glam shop and worry about her eyelashes. Her eyelashes. She is accustomed to getting what 16, 19, 20 inches, and they reduce it down to 12, 13, and I'm thinking it looks the same. He asked her, when we first opened up this episode, because this is going to be an issue. When we first opened up this season episode 1, he told her that he needed her to dress modestly. She told him in his face, I know how to do that. But then we see her with all of her breasts hanging out. And the thing about it is they don't do any research. They don't even, let me see, let me look this up real quick. Like, none of that happens. And, so he gets a little hot, with her. And he's angry. And I can't be mad at him. Y'all, I can't, I swear I can't. I can't be mad at that man. Now with this mess that she has going on, I just could not understand how one lash was different than the other one. Because honey, when they showed that picture, did I take a picture of it? I said it looks the same. Then the girl tell us she looked like a doll. Yeah, a blow up doll from off of Adam and Eve website. She looks just like one of them little blow up dolls. They have told her, the other young lady told her, look, they're going to judge you by your outside. But the unfortunate thing about it is that is not something that is just for them. Like we judge people from the outside too. Like, oh my God, we really do. We really do. I just was like, this, like Darcy needs to grow up. Her and Stacy, they need to grow up. You can, when we first met Darcy and Stacy, right, they talked about the bullying and stuff like that that they went through in school. And I think that they are still trying to compensate. They are still these teenage girls. Even though they have, ex-husbands and children and all of that, they're still teenage girls trying to impress and be better than the next one. Nobody needs to tell me I look like a baby doll. I don't need that kind of affirmation. I don't need that. And it's just sickening to watch. God, it's just so sickening to watch. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but for me, it's just sickening to watch them. And I really feel sorry for them. I really pity them. There is a part of me that really pities Darcy and her sister. Um, who's next? Who else was on this episode? Lily, Yara, Lauren decide that they're going to go out. Lauren's friend went the hell off and realized that she overreacted, that she was hot in the heat of the moment and issued an apology. And that was very womanly of her. Andre said he should have turned it up more. But Lily loves that man's dirty drawers. She sits and says that, the girl shouldn't have popped off like that. It went too far. Lauren is hoping that she doesn't go to Moldova. And I'm hoping that she does. As a matter of fact, we know she's going. Who cares? Yara said, I just want friends. I want to be able to hang out. But these are not the girls to hang out with. And when I looked at Lauren at the table, I was like, Lauren looks like she's like at least 10 to 15 older, 10 to 15 years older than these women. She needed to really work on herself because I know she had, a lot of surgery and stuff on her body, but she needs to do something with that face too. She needs to do something with that skin. But anyway, y'all ain't here for me to be giving out skin advice and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead on and move on and shut the fuck up. Okay. Last but not least, Gino and Jasmine. Now, I really found this to be, I found myself being a little emotional, y'all. Not to the point where I was crying, but just really feeling for her. Because Gino did her dirty. Gino did her dirty. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all is down in the comment section. But Gino did her dirty. So last week we saw Jasmine be with the cousin. They went out because the cousin wanted to tell her about Natalie. Jasmine is standing there and she's upset because she's hoping that she gets to eat her cake, have her cake and eat it too. She wants to still be in a relationship with Gino and have one with Matt too. Matter of fact, they agreed to this. This is what Gino signed his name on the dotted line for. I am very tired of Gino acting as if he is a victim of everything and that he is incapable of standing up to Jasmine because we know this is a lie. So Jasmine is having a conversation with Matt down at the ranch. As we all know, Gino put her out of the home and they have not seen each other in 4 months. So she has been staying with Matthew. According to Jasmine, she has still been yearning and longing and hoping that her and Gino can get back together. Matt, in this particular episode, contrary to what he has said in other episodes, says that he really has feelings for her. And we knew it, bitch. It wasn't nobody stupid. Like, we knew what was going on. So he is saying that he really is starting to develop feelings for her, and that he is hoping that Jasmine wakes up and realizes that Gino just does not care about her. In the meantime, and in between time, we have Gino having a conversation with his cousin, and the cousin is asking him about his time that the time that he spent with Natalie. And let me tell you, cross 28. I, you know what? Don't address it because I gotta laugh this off, y'all. I got to laugh this off because I'm a critical thinker. I gotta be on somebody's side because I can critically think. Keep moving on. Anyway, Gino is having a conversation with his cousin, and he is asking him about his day with Natalie. And he tells his cousin, oh, good girl, that he really had a great time with her, and he feels this way about her, or whatever. And every time, basically he's been saying, when he's with Jasmine, they argue. But they have had the toxic relationship since A1 day one for the very first time. Gino did have a good relationship with Jasmine. He had the relationship that he wanted with Jasmine. He knew who Jasmine was before he brought her to the United States. Jasmine was disrespecting Gino from day A. But this was a way for Gino to walk away from his job and to become a D-list celebrity. Jasmine has always been who Jasmine is. He's known about her children. He's known about her father, of her family life. Gino has known everything, but yet, when everybody was talking to Gino about not being with Jasmine, what did he do? He married her and brought her to the United States. He gets over here and doesn't realize that she's still going to be that same person on American soil as she is on Panama soil. J- Jasmine is who she is and always has been and is not going to change. Has not changed. Period. But he now wants this Natalie girl who he will be tired of her in less than a year. When Gino was with her the last episode, he was acting like he was so sexually attracted to her. I don't think that Gino has this. God, how can I say this? sex drive that he thinks he has. Now, we did notice when he was dating Jasmine and stuff, he was rejecting Jasmine really at the beginning. We've always seen him push her away and all of that kind of stuff. And then, he likes the corn and he likes to date, other kind of women. And, he is a checkered past, right, as it relates to being in a successful relationship or a true relationship with women. I think that Gino needs to be just forever single, right? And just do what he do. Anyway, I digress. Let me come back. So Matt is, telling Jasmine that he really wants to be with her and everything. And Jasmine is like, we're going to have to end this should Gino want me back. But why would Gino want her back? She's been so used to throwing things across the room, hitting him with flowers, manipulating him, controlling him, abusing him. That now that Gino has escaped, she can't I think she doesn't there's a part of her that just doesn't want to see Gino happy. Period, point blank poo. Even if she's got to play, I'm in love with you still. I want my husband back. I want to be back. No. When you sat there, Jasmine, and you made a decision that when you made a decision that you wanted to be in this marriage and you wanted to have a man on the side, a dick on the side, you the relationship was over and the respect level was over, because anybody who is in a committed relationship can't even fathom, right, bringing another woman in unless it's just part of your culture, right? There's some cultures where people can marry multiple people, women and stuff, and they're prepared for that, but this ain't that. This ain't that. So she's talking to Matt, and then Gino lets her know he wants to see her. So she gets in an Uber to go and see Gino. And she's thinking that, there's going to be something that's going to come out of this. And Hunty, when I tell you that Gino was standing out there with his trunk up like he was boosting, Gino looked like he was boosting, bitch. He looked like he was selling stuff off the back of his truck. Now, Jasmine had taken an Uber over to see him. He know Jasmine ain't got no car. Who does somebody like that? He got her in the back of the car and she has nowhere to. Y'all, let me tell you. I don't care who you are or what you did. Two wrongs don't make a right. That was wrong for Gino to do that. That thing affected me. I don't know why, but it did. She gets down there. He got the coffee maker in the back of the car, a yoga mat, and clothes. He pulls one of the blue jackets out and he snips it and he said, "It smells like Jasmine." He wants this Natalie girl so bad that he would do this. There is a way to do everything. And to have me come out into a park where we first met, thinking she gets there, she has no vehicle. She has no vehicle, and her is in the back. And he's telling her to get her stuff and put it where. When I watched that woman put that stuff down on that ground, I don't care how nasty a person is. And we all know that Jasmine is nasty. But you don't treat a dog like that. And some people may very well feel like that's what Jasmine get. But I tell you what, I ain't gonna join that because I don't want nobody to ever treat me like that. To bring to a park, and you know when you say let's meet at the park where we first met, you are automatically giving that person an idea that there's some type of possible reconciliation. Do I think that Gino should be with Jasmine? Absolutely. But I don't think you gotta fuck nobody either. And when he told her that stuff was in the car, and she was like, "So where was you at, Gino?" So, because the cousin-in-law had already told her. She asked him about where he was. He said he was in Vegas and that he had met Natalie. And that she asked him, did he like her? And he said, yeah. She said, so you take 3 days to be with somebody, right, in Vegas, and you paying the whole tab. And you're going to compare that to 5 years of us being in a relationship together, Gino? Gino says that he has her phone records. And her phone records prove that she had been talking to Matt 4 months prior to them making the agreement at marriage boot camp. Okay, and so what's your point? So I was talking to him. I was getting to know him. And then I realized I liked him. Okay, so what's your point, Gino? He know damn well about Matt and that she had to be seeing Matt before because that's who they agreed on. Stop. Don't like I don't like I hate when they play in somebody's face. Gino knew about Matt and knew that she was in a relationship with Matt when they were at the daggone last resort. So he didn't say anything that was brand new or shocking. He knew she was talking to the guy. He knew she was working out with the guy. So, Gino, having phone records, boo, give me some text messages. I need some receipts. What were the conversations about? You put me out the house. I want you back because I'm Jasmine, right? I feel like I'm entitled to treat you like and still come back. I feel like I'm entitled to do that because you have allowed me to treat you poorly, Gino, for 5 years. I thought it was disgusting the way that she treated Gino the whole entire time she was in that pageant. Y'all remember she was in the pageant? Like he had so many opportunities to put his foot down. And he didn't, and now he wants to come to the park. I just thought it was just very distasteful. It was very distasteful. And then she grabs her stuff out the back and put it on the ground. There was a better way for Gino to do that. You don't treat anybody like that. And the unfortunate thing is, what go around, come around. So to think that Gino is not going to pay for this, Gino going to pay for this, whether you like him or not, whether you hate him or not. You reap what you sow. And there's going to come a time where Gino's going to remember the day that he put that woman's stuff out there. And Jasmine is a monster. She's not my favorite, never has been. But you don't treat a dog like that. And then you got the nerve to talk about, did you take one of my hats? When she had the stuff sitting out there. And he gonna come over and You don't treat anybody like that. You don't. I'm noticing in the comments section that y'all are conflicted. That y'all really don't get what I'm saying. And that bothers me because we are all critical thinkers over here. Two things can be right and two things can be wrong. And I don't have to bash Jasmine and ignore Gino's shit. I don't have to do that. I don't have to make excuses as to why Gino had a right to do that. You don't treat anybody like that. Nobody. I've never on this channel, and I'm telling you, I'm trying not to be pissed. I've never on this channel been on Jasmine's side. So to be questioned because I'm a critical thinker and because I can see when somebody is wrong, to be questioned, am I taking somebody's side? You don't have to take people's side to be a critical thinker. You don't have to take people's side to look at right and wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And in my opinion, Gino handled that incorrectly. There was another way he could have handled that than to put somebody's stuff on the ground. That's where I stand with that. But don't by any means make it seem like because I noticed he did that wrong, that I'm on her side. Since when have I ever been on Jasmine's side? Sometimes you have to put yourself into things. I'm a content creator, and everything I say you ain't gonna like. It just is what it is, and everything y'all say, I'm not gonna like. But I resent the fact that I was asked that question. Am I on her side? No, but you don't put nobody's stuff on the ground. You don't put nobody's stuff on the ground. That man's slow. Something's wrong with him. Maybe he didn't want to go to my house, but he could have did it another way. You just don't do that. And unless and until you've had somebody to disrespect your stuff, you can't understand the psychological effects it has to have somebody discard your stuff, just throw your, like, get your stuff, get your coffee maker, put it in the box to the left. He was dead ass wrong. Move on with Natalie. He should have left Jasmine a long time ago. He should not have ever married Jasmine. Never. But he did what he did, didn't he? And he didn't give a fuck about what we thought. He didn't care. Not one little bit. I want him to be happy. Do I think that Natalie is going to be the person to make Gino happy? Hell no, because Gino was a hoe from the very first time we met Gino. Let's keep it all the way buck. Let's keep it all the way a buck. When we met Gino, he was a hoe. He was on them pay lines. Let's not forget, Gino ain't no man that's walking around with no whole bunch of integrity. He do too. His stink just like everybody else's. I'm just going to call it the way I see it. Y'all call it the way y'all see it in the comment section. But please don't ask me when I'm doing something, whether or not I'm taking somebody's side. That's just so. Yeah, we can, Phoenix. You talking about me? We can respectfully disagree with each other. What you saying? Let me look at these comments. Calm down, Auntie didn't mean to offend you, but you did. But I'm good, boo. I'm good. It just made it shocked me, right? You didn't offend me, but it angered me because I'm like, okay, so I can't critically think. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I know you did not mean to offend me, baby. I know you did not, sweetie pie. Phoenix Riser 72 says we can respectfully disagree with each other. Absolutely. Tanya Shannon Shore says, I'm sure we didn't think Gino and Jasmine were in this way, but we all saw they should have never gotten married. Absolutely. Karen Thompson says, because that coffee maker sure didn't look like it was travel, looked propped up to me. So while they say he could have gotten someone to bring her stuff to her. Her man says, no matter what, you don't do what you don't want done to you. He was wrong. Absolutely. Tanya Shannon Shore says, Gino is a passport bro, paying for women to talk to him and give him attention. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I know, boo. I know you didn't. I know you did, but I had to address it because it just shocked me because I'll only take a side when I really feel strongly about something. I don't feel strongly about either one of them, but I do it. But I think that even if a person is a bad person, right there, a villain, they just the nastiest person. There's still that part that says, that the part that says, I'm gonna be fair about my assessment. And my assessment is he was wrong for doing that. And I can't imagine that. Like that bothered me a lot that he did that. And he didn't even have any conversation for her. She had to pump and pry everything out of Gino. Gino need to grow the fuck up. This girl Natalie, she don't care nothing about no damn Gino. Is he with her today? Probably not. He's probably on some site paying $2.25. Child, he probably putting money in the phone like a phone booth, dropping a quarter and a dime to get extra time. Gino ain't. Jasmine is just the worst of the two. But even with somebody is like that, they still have a right to their dignity. And I thought that that's what he stripped from her. Her saying that she wanted to be back with him, none of that stuff moved me because she don't want Gino back. Right. And of course, we all know that this was all filmed before she revealed during the reunion that she was pregnant. And like I said, Matt had already indicated that he didn't have any feelings for Jasmine, but here it is now. He talking about he did. So what made him change? Because he probably realized that Jasmine ain't shit. Jasmine's been out there on the streets, on the Instagram streets, just running her mouth. Always got something to say. Sit down. Sit down. Anyway, anyway. I'm glad you there, boo, because I didn't mean, I don't be meaning no harm. I just be, certain things when you see it from this position, it just make you like, what? Did I take her aside? Crystal Hogan said he could have put her stuff in a box or bag better than the way he did it. Absolutely. Stop lying. Gino had a new girlfriend named Kelly after Natalie, and he cheated on her. And he got the nerve to be putting somebody's shit out on the ground. I'm just gonna come back on them. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of my review. I think I talked about all the couples. If I didn't, I won't. If I didn't, I won't. So yeah, that's the end of my review. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section what you all, oh, you know what? I forgot to look and see who was the top. Let me see if I could get that top fans. So the top fan tonight was Karen. Was it Karen? Karen, I don't know. I don't know what your last name is because it's not showing. In the number two spot for the crown is Sugar 48. Number three is at 2QT4WO. And Yolanda Gibson is number four. Randy Thompson is number five. Okay, y'all. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm hoping that you all get to see the top fans. I said I was going to try to he could have had it dropped off at her house. Uplifted now asked me a question. Where you at, baby? Uplifted now says, Auntie, where was Gino supposed to put her stuff? She didn't have a car and didn't see any tables. What Gino should have did, there was multiple ways for Gino to get her things, her belongings in a respectful way. He could have set up an appointment at his place outside instead of at the park. And he could have told her up front, I want you to come and get the rest of your things. Moreover, when Gino gave her stuff, he didn't even have everything. So why do it? You're doing it to fuck with somebody's psyche, right? In my opinion, uplifted. Um, that's what he was with this, right? He was playing with her psyche because he said that, the stuff that he had in there wasn't all of it, that he still had Jasmine's things at the home. So that keeps a tie to her. That keeps him tied to her where he could toy with her about her possessions. He could have very easily said, I'll meet you somewhere. I want to bring you your clothes. Not meet me at the park where we first met, our favorite park, and then blindside someone by having their stuff in the bag. Because I would have left the stuff in the bag. I would have left it in the bag. You could take it to the dump. You could take it to the trash. You could do whatever you want to because I'm just not going to have my stuff out here on the street. You put it on the street. There were many, many ways that Gino could have handled that situation. He could have called her and said, hey, can you come to the house when I'm not there? And come and get the rest of your belongings out. He could have said, you know what, I packed your stuff up in a box. He has his cousin's wife. He could have made arrangements to the cousin wife and all of that. There were so many different ways for Gino to do what he needed to do. So that's just my opinion about it. But thank you so much, Spoo, for asking me. I love y'all so much. And this is the end of my review. Again, let's keep the conversation going on down in the chat. I love y'all so much. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Bye, y'all.